Hi guys, we've just finished our first game of the new season, and for the past 2 weeks, we've been playing the twin-stick shooter, Smash TV. This was Bob's choice, but I'd also thrown it into the mix. It's a game I played on the Mega Drive, but never spent much time with the arcade version. In many ways, I was a bit disappointed. The game plays really well, and for a chunk of time, it's good fun. However, it's just too difficult. Robotron is hard, but it feels fair. At times, this falls on the side of feeling unfair, getting into positions where you struggle to get out of without the right power-up. And as the power-ups are random, sometimes you just get your ass handed to you. The game saw quite a few home versions, and Alan did an arcade perfect on it. The SNES saw quite a decent home port, and the direction of fire was mapped to the 4 face buttons, which is a reasonable approximation to twin sticks, whereas many others used a lock-on mechanic or fire in the direction you're facing. So a reasonable start to the season, and I think a few people enjoyed playing it. Let's take a look at the scores. I've had 11 scores sent to me, with pretty much all of our regulars making a return. I'm hoping we'll see both Sick Boy and Sinisteve making a return this season. A Man Cave Arcade will be back too. Robert is in a lonely 11th, a chunk behind me in 10th. I'm joined by Paul, Colin and Bob, up to 700,000 points. Then we've got My Retrotech in 6th, through to our perennial runner-up, Juff, in 3rd. All close, with just over 1 million points. Our top 2 separated themselves from the pack, and were the only foes to complete the first stage, which allows you to bank all of your bonus points. Blue Yak has taken our 2nd place spot with 2.5 million, but our winner this week was way out in front, and returning to his winning ways. It's Graham, 10 Shearers. Well done to Graham, and that's a great start for him this season. Now the graphs are back. Here we have the distribution of the scores, and we can see folks falling into just 5 bins. Robert's on the left, then we have our next 4, all together at around 650,000. Then the next 4 at around 1 million, before a gap to Blue Yak a chunk ahead, and then Graham at the top all on his own. 2 stand-up performances this week, but it's Graham taking the overall win. Next up is our difficulty curve, and as we have significant groupings of players, that results in various steps on the curve. The first one is to that 650,000 point mark, the next to the million, and then we see a steep increase subsequently, which is cashing in the bonus for completing the first stage. These steps show that there are certain sections that are much more difficult than others, where multiple people are getting stuck. Finally, we have the progress over the 2 weeks. What is notable here are the multiple stabs many people have had, improving multiple times. That's usually a sign of people enjoying the game. We can certainly see the significant progress of our top 2, Graham leading early on before dropping his winning score around the midpoint. Blue Yak progressing through the 2 weeks and managing to complete the stage towards the end. Great jobs all round, I'd say. This is the first game of the season, so this week's results are our current standings. So let's move on to find out what the second game of the season will be. I've had 9 games sent to me, beginning with the letter T. The only game to get multiple votes was Tatsuju from Juff and My Retrotech. I'd be happy with that too, to be honest. My choice was Tapper, an arcade classic. Our winner of Smash TV, Graham, has gone for Turtles, the 1981 Konami Sega release, not the much more well-known beat-em-up. I'm hoping we get something good this week, so let's set things going and see what we get. Okay, slowing down. Okay, it's just ticked over. So yeah, it is Turtles from Graham. I think Colin said this was also known as Turpin, which is much easier to find than if you Google Turtles Arcade, which obviously comes up with just the beat 'em up. So I'll go make a video and be back in a sec. So our second game of the season is Turtles. I'm going to call it by its original name of Turpin to differentiate it from the later Konami beat 'em up. This game was also developed by Konami, but then licensed to Sega, who released it in 1981. In the US, where it was called Turtles rather than Turpin, it was distributed by Stern. The game is a classic maze game, as was popular following the release of Pac-Man. Here you need to collect baby turtles from the question mark boxes, and then deliver them to the home icons that appear in the corners of the screen. The only weapon you have is a bomb that can stall one of the enemy turtles, allowing you to walk over it. The first thing I noticed about the game is that it's extremely difficult, just clearing the first screen is far from easy. The game isn't that well known, and there isn't that much information about it online. Unusually, we'll be using the Scramble hardware bootleg, as that one is on the Mister too. That's Turpin.zip, and we'll be using the default settings as usual. If someone wanted to take a look at the different ROMs and post it in the Discord and see if there's any notable differences, then that would be great. For our next game, we have the letter U. There aren't a huge number of games here, but there are some okay options. Up and Down I expect to be a popular choice. UN Squadron could be a decent choice for shmup fans. I know Ian would like Uncle Pooh, and I'll probably be going for UO Poco, the puzzle game. So I hope you all enjoy playing some Turpin, and I'll be back in 2 weeks with the scores. See you then.